How are you?
I'm good.
Good. All right, we're good.
Hey everyone, I'm Copper Kitchen.
And I'm Spencer Meyer.
And this is
Selah Good News.
Wait a minute, you're not my dad.
Correct, you are, Copper. Your dad told me he was going to be out, so I'm filling in this week.
Let's see what you're made of, Mr. Meyer. Answer me this. What's your favorite part of summer?
I think I really like the sunshine and being warm and being outside and spending time with family. What about you?
Hanging out with my family. What do you think the best thing is to do in Selah in the summer?
That's a really good question, Copper. I think I like being outside and driving around near sunset when there's kind of a golden glow over all the apple orchards and being up on the hill and looking down over town. What about you?
Going floating on the river.
The summers can be pretty great, but when it's hot and you need a break, there's nothing better than a dip in the pool or maybe going inside an air-conditioned room. But for some people in our community, that's not an option. In fact, in the Yakima Valley alone, there are upwards of 1,000 people experiencing homelessness, hundreds of which are children.
That makes me sad, Spencer.
Me too, Copper. But you know what? There are actually a lot of people in the valley fighting hard to create safe housing options, and one of those people is our new friend Mike, who works at a great place called Camp Hope.
Cool. Hi, Mike. So, what exactly is Camp Hope and what did it come to be?
Hi, Copper. Hi, Spencer. Camp Hope is a low-barrier homeless shelter. What low barrier means is that we take people exactly as they are in all of their brokenness, whether they're drug addicted, alcohol addicted, maybe they have a criminal history that prohibits them from going other places, maybe they have a pet, something along those lines. They can come in as they are. We have a place for them to sleep, obviously. We provide laundry services, showers, donation center. We have haircuts. We have food. We have transportation. We have case management, all in one. And what makes this kind of unique is nobody had ever done this before until we did it 3.5 years ago. And so now we're starting to see interest from Sacramento and Detroit and Houston and so on. And because we run Camp Hope under the guides of Matthew 25, where Jesus says, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I needed a place to stay, you took me in. When I was in the jail, you visited me. We do all that stuff here. And so there's a whole gamut of different ways people can become involved. And so we just want to encourage them to come down and see what God's building.
Mike, about how many people would you say are residents of Camp Hope at any given time?
Well, that's a great question because that fluctuates depending on the time of the month. But we average about 85 to 90 people is what we see. And that's everybody from your single adults all the way up to families, mothers that just gave birth and had nowhere to go, to the traditional families, all the way to grandparents that are raising their grandkids, and senior citizens, veterans, so on. We have the whole demographic here.
Okay, Mike, one question for you. What are your biggest needs at Camp Hope?
Our biggest needs right now is just prayer, to be honest. We're in a kind of a funding upheaval right now where we may have lost the majority of our funding, but we serve a great big God, and we know that. And so one of the big things that we're looking for is for people that are willing to maybe donate their time. Maybe they want to come and be a volunteer driver for us, help transport our residents to and from medical appointments or their jobs, to maybe you want to provide a meal. We have a lot of, like an oversized church potluck, and they come in and serve it here, or they'll drop it off at the gate if they're not comfortable with COVID. That's always a big need. Paper products are always a big deal. Toilet paper, believe it or not, it's a huge thing for us. Paper plates, blankets, oversized clothing, anything like that. But believe it or not, socks and underwear are the biggest need right now of all that kind of stuff. And so those are our biggest needs right now.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks for sharing with us, Mike. Here at Selah Good News, we think what you're doing is living like Jesus, and we think that is very good news.
Do you know what else is good news, Spencer? Puppies!
That's right, Copper. And here at Selah Cove, we have a family that recently got a new furry friend. Moose the puppy is the newest member of the Roberts family, and when he found out he had a reflection, he wasn't quite sure what to do with the doggy in the mirror.
Spencer, puppies are a lot like humans. Sometimes you might scare yourself, and sometimes you might be your own best friend.
You know what, Copper?
What?
Whatever any of us are, I just hope that we'll be a good one.
I hope so too, and that's what we hope for all of you and you and you and you and you.
Well, Copper, how did I do?
Good.
Is there anything that I need to work on or improve upon?
Maybe you have to grow out your beard a little bit.
Oh, like your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, folks, that's all the time we have this week. Thank you so much for letting me fill in for your dad, Copper. I appreciate that. So until we see you again,
Be a good one.
Is that a new tattoo?
Mm-hmm.
What is
a
that?
Snake.
Thank you. Made me feel really good. 100. We went too fast and I lost the whole thing.
Is it?
Is Selah good news?
Very good.
Can you
news.
say-
It's very good news.
Is-
Game, I lost my last line. Oh my goodness.
Oh, the armpit fart.
Be a good one.
Yeah.
Be a good
Oh, that's a little high.
I'm not sure Spencer knows what he's doing.
one. Me either.